Good world gone bad.
Good day, scumbags. Welcome back to Skipper Owl's channel. Here's something that'll never get old for me, is walking into this. Really friggin' pumped. Sleep has been at a minimum lately because of this. I sleep, it's hard to tell, but on the other side of that wall is where I sleep, and so I'm really close to this friggin' thing, and it's been bothering me because I want to get it into there, and that's what we're gonna try and do today. We're gonna rig up some of that Holley schmegma in there and put it back on the old lifty lifterson, and we're gonna shove her down that hole, shove her right down the throat hole, and yeah, really looking forward to it. Tonight's gonna be fun. Theoretically, there'll be an engine in the car when we're done. But yeah, first things first, really like to run this Terminator thing, harness, and just see what's going on. I've been through it a couple times now. It's so, like, I'm so amazed with how awesome their products are. Everybody I've heard who has them just loves them. Plug and play. Up in Canada here, 1,600 bucks for a full standalone friggin' engine management and harness. Like, that's hard to get. I know lots of people like to use the wiring specialties, but the tunability, the simplicity, the price, the aftermarket support, all of Holley's stuff, I've just been so impressed with. It's so cool switching from JDM stuff and going to the Bald Eagles, because wow, it's America, baby. So really impressed with their products, and I'm really excited to use it. What else was I gonna say? A little bit of bashing to do on the headers before well, I guess they're gonna come off anyways when we put the car or put the motor in. But as you can see right here, there's this little block off plate for I guess you can run oil cooler lines into here, which would be nice to do, but we're not going to do that right now. Anyways, the headers definitely rest up against that, so we're going to bash the headers in right there. From everything I've heard and some videos I've watched, it doesn't matter if there's dents in the headers. There was that one video there where they dented every single header, and they actually increased the horsepower of the engine. So I don't give a fuck. I'm going to bash that, and or I was thinking I might just make a better plate that's more flush, like it's just a piece of steel with a couple bolt holes in it and some RTV, and we're done. But I'm also lazy, so I think we'll just bash it. I kind of don't really like bashing shit, so that's another thing we're gonna do. I've already done a number on this firewall. Actually, my buddy Cam did a number on the firewall, but I think we're gonna do a couple more numbers before we put it in, because it'd be so cool to put this engine in once. I shouldn't even say it, let's knock on wood. But it'd be so cool to put this engine in once and not take it out again. I mean, the chances of that happening are slim. We still got to make our shift linkage, which will be maybe on this video, maybe on another video, I'm not sure, but I've got everything for that, and I'm super excited to show you guys what I'm going to do, because I think it's really sweet, really sweet idea. But yeah, so we'll get to work here, and my buddy Dominic, my shop mate Dom, he'll be here soon, and we're gonna start doing some heavy lifting and some wiring. You ready to rock, Domski?
I'm ready to rock. Are you ready to rock?
My third member is quite hard, so yes. Ready to rock. We are gonna pull this Terminator out of the box. Yeah. So, here's the box. I've already been through it a few times, so a bit disorganized. But it's all here. Actually, harness or trick flow first?
Let's put your trick flow in. and
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking
kind
too.
of match it up.
So we're gonna put this steam port vent system on. Just a bunch of AN fittings, and
We gotta build everything.
gotta build everything. Do you have an AN wrench?
No,
I've been using fucking a crescent wrench with some masking tape on it. So,
Nope.
okay.
But it was worth it.
So on the four corners of the heads, we have these little ports, and we're going to connect them all. And then there's a line that goes from the steam vent one corner, and I believe it goes to the top of your rad or something. I can't remember, or your overflow tank. You want to make sure these are seated properly, otherwise you're going to have a coolant leak, which is not good. Nobody wants that. A little snuggy snug. And then you just put these in for all four corners. Four steam vent ports hooked up, but we decided we're going to put the intake on and run the wires before we make the lines for the coolant, because we just want to see how everything goes and which side we want to run the steam vents on. But I thought I'd go do a little overview of the harness real quick. You should read the instructions because that's always very important, but for those of you who want to see a quick little, hey, how are ya? Computer. You have your two harness plugs that go into there. This is your main power coming from the battery. It has to come from the battery, and we've already ran that wire on the last video, so you guys should have that already hooked in. And then if we go along the harness here, you have your I think this is a fuel relay. Yeah, fuel relay. You got your fuel pump fuse. These two, this is main 12 volt constant power, so you need to find power in your car that is constant when the key is on and in cranking. This is a ground for that. If you go up the harness here, you have the optional pigtail for fan control, basically. There's a bunch of outputs and you can pretty much rig whatever you want, but you know the main purpose of this would be to set up your computer to turn the fans and on and off. I'm just gonna run a switch for now, so we're not even gonna use that. Here you have I forget what Holley calls it. It's like a power. It's not even labeled. I had to do a little research of what it was, but it's like a power output. I forget what it's called, like power block or something. But I bought a harness on eBay that plugs into that and right here and runs right to your alternator, so you don't have to make your own little harness with resistors and stuff for your alternator signal wire. So that we'll be using that. And then as you work your way up here, these are the only 3 loose wires that you're going to have to deal with. This red wire is power for your fuel pump. So if you're running a fuel pump that is 15 amps or less, you can run this wire right to your battery, and then this green wire goes to your fuel pump. So you could run, if you're running a fuel pump that's less than 15 amps, you can do that. Or in our case, what we're doing is we're going to run the green to a relay instead of running directly to the fuel pump. So this is just, the green is going to act as a signal wire. Red is power for the fuel pump, which is fused already in your harness back here. Blue is optional tachometer wire. We're not going to use that because we don't care. And then as you work your way up your harness, you get to the nitty gritty, and it's pretty simple. First up, you have, this is the wideband. So you're going to run that down the whatever side of the engine you like, but we're going to use the starboard side. Then you have your injector harness, and it comes with a separate little injector harness here. And then you're looking at left side and right side of the engine here. So this piece comes out, you have one of your grounds connect to cylinder head only. So back of the cylinder head, you connect this side ground, then you have your even cylinder coil pack plug here. So you plug your coil pack harness into this plug, and then at the end you have a map sensor, which we are not going to use because we're going to use the Holley map sensor that's built into the computer. Little dongle here. It comes with fittings, so you can adapt that dongle to whatever size vacuum hose you end up using. So they have 3 different fittings there. You can use whatever vacuum size hose you want. And it also has the wideband bung in it. You can weld into your exhaust. So that's that. And then there's also these 2 nicely heat shielded wires. So the one side has got 2 plugs on it, and that's going to be your even bank, because on your even bank side of the block you have your crank sensor and a knock sensor, and then on your odd side there's only a knock sensor on that side, so that goes to odd. Oil pressure sender is on the back of your engine right there, so that'll connect there, and then we go to this will probably run on the back side of the motor. You have another ground to the head, and then odd ignition coil pack harness, and then this will run up the left side of the odd side of the engine, bank 1, and it's basically all your throttle stuff. So we got fuel pressure, TPS, coolant temp sensor, which is at the front of the head on the bank 1 side, and idle air control, which is also on your throttle body. Cam position sensor, which is on the front of the timing cover, and manifold air temp, which we're just going to put the sensor on it. We're going to let that hang out because we don't have an intake.
Have to find a port for it or something. Or
well, this has to go on the intake tube, like not on the actual intake. On the.
It can go anywhere.
Yeah, but we're not plumbing that into the manifold, so we're going to put a sensor on it and stick it out in the air for now. And that's it. Super simple. So we'll move over here and we're going to start hooking up some things because we want to see how the wires lay out, because we want to put the steam port vent crossover on the least cluttered side of the. Okay, we're going to do a little mock-up here. So we're going to pretend that this is the firewall where this part of the harness is going to go into. Slide that over a bit. Okay, let's see what we're working with here. Plug these guys in.
So your 2, 4, 6, and 8.
Yeah. Oh, whoops, that's backwards. I already fucked it up, guys. Oh no. How do these plugs work? Like that, and then like that. Kind of sucks that these aren't really very pretty like that. We'll have to do something there.
It has to go like a little harness to hold it all up.
Yeah, we'll have to like re-loom that or something. And then we have the other side, so that's gonna come down and around like this. And wow, we have to run that really tight. Okay, I gotta say, I'm not impressed with that because it's really short. And doesn't even really fit around the back of the intake. Just barely. We're gonna have to de-loop, we're gonna have to take all this loom off and redo that because that sucks. I don't know what you guys think about that, but I think that sucks. There's not really any good way of making that look good without taking that all apart. We'll ground those out. I just got a feeler gauge because I had to find random bolts. You want to check your grounding holes here because you don't want to thread in a bolt that's too long. So you can see that that hole is in fact that long. We're going to put a bolt that long in there just to be safe. Hand position sensors back here. That's going to be a tricky one to get in, so we're not going to plug that in for now, but it's behind the starter. What else we got here? Oil. Right here, right at the back of the block. Another ground, which was on this side of the heads. Either we'll put it, yeah, we'll put it here. And then this guy runs up like that. Somewhere in there like that. And coolant temp sensor. They come down like that. Right there. This is where your CTS goes. So maybe you could even run this through there. GPS. Right here. Where's that? Fuel. GPS. IAC. And GPS. And then you have your mat. And there should be a cam one here too. Just right here. And it's that simple. It's done. Yeah. This didn't really help us other than it was kind of fun and it's good for you guys to see. But it did kind of help us in the fact that we're gonna have to figure something out with that because that's pretty ugly. I don't know. I might take this all apart and re-loom it. But yeah, we can kind of see where the bulk of the wires go. So we were thinking about doing the steam vent down this side, but I think the bulk of the wires is here. So I think we'll do the steam venting kit down this way because there's really not much going on this side other than the throttle cable that's going to be coming through. And so it'd just be nice to not clutter up one side. So I think we'll measure some lines up now and keep on trucking here. Little fragging around here, and we ran into a little bit of issue putting the steam ports on, steam port vents. These little 90s on this corner and the kitty corner. The intake sits on them on both sides. So, oh man, it is so close though. So close, boys. Colby came to man the hoist, so we got a hoist lifter here. That's all I'm good for. Let her go, bud. Yeah. Okay, well, we're gonna try out some things here. We're gonna put her in. Got the manifold sort of zip tied up on the side there. Firewall badged, hoses are in. Yeah, we're gonna do some muscling.
No, I'm gonna swing the action this way, man. Yeah, good. Yeah, keep going. Slow, nice and slow. Yeah, just catch it. Rocks and shit. Like that. Swing her back a little bit. Not going down. Keep staying right there. You're right above the old man. Just keep pushing back. Oh, did you dent that header?
This was going too well. You can almost, I think I can get at it and just pull the engine out of it. In between the marks.
Hold on before we do this.
Yes, I'll take a snag. We're taking a little quick hydration break from the windowsill liquor. It's at my buddy's place, for about 6 years on his windowsill. Now it's been on ours.
About a year. We're slowly making our way through.
Yeah, schnozberries taste like schnozberries. So all that bashing I was talking about, we totally forgot to do. So we're doing that now. Well, hard to say, isn't it? There's gonna be a gasket on there too. I think it's good. Like, hey, let's do exactly what we did.
Let's get back into position, boys. Here, buddy. I had to pee earlier, but I just peed my pants instead.
I have a feeling we're going
when we got nice and warm. What's the wet feeling in here? Nothing better than just like.
I have a feeling we're gonna have to
piss in your pants.
So I'll all one of these so I can
Get back of the trans off.
Colby the hoist man, reporting for duty. We put the headers on, everything fits. Steering shaft went through very nicely. And now we're just gonna work on the trans cross member because we gotta drill that out. Take it away, Colby.
No. Fucking swinging hammers.
Okay, so we're drilling our trans cross member for the 2 bolts that go through here. We have 2 little sort of center punch bolts in there, and we got our trans all lined up in the tunnel the way we want. We're just gonna smash it here and get our center punch drill marked spots, and bingo bango, we'll drill them through and we can mount this trans up. Simple as that. But give her a hammer there, Domsky. Fucking hit it with your purse.
No, I don't want to knock the paint off it.
Oh, that's fine. I don't give a shit.
It'll be perfect.
You think so?
Yeah, that should be good. Let's see. Just drop her down. Should be good to a little end.
I'd give her a hammer.
No, there's marks.
There's marks? Okay.
You know.
This member went in without a hitch. It's all bolted up perfectly straight in the tunnel, and we'll just have to drop it down again to do the linkage, but the motor's in, boys. The motor's in. Let's bring her down there, Left Master. No. Gonna have this off and on.
I just let go. Okay. Backwards. Other way.
That would be sick if it was backwards. Yeah.
I just want to see, man.
Right there.
Yo, dude.
Should we put the hood on, dude?
Let's put the hood on and fire it up.
Let's get running.
Just the way it is.
Couple boys.
Okay.
Couple drinks. Looks good.
That's pretty slick.
Dude, that looks fucking real dope.
Oh,
There's your oil dipstick.
it's Dom, where did we put that?
Oh, right here.
Yeah.
How do you get?
Number 6 cylinder.
Gotta leave the tip.
Oh, let's wash this.
You got there.
Okay, lube it. Yep.
Oh, Loctite over in there.
Daddy.
Too much there.
That's gonna be just great. Oh, that'll increase our engine oil viscosity. That is an absolutely beautiful sight. They're cool as fuck. I have no patience for manual labor anymore. Bingo. Bingo, what's his name? Oh, let's see that thing. Ah, yes.
Stick with her dipstick,
We're doing official things here. There we go. I'm gonna have to do something with that. Yeah, okay, so we got our most things mocked up here. Put the oil dipstick tube in. One thing that I've been thinking about, the intake, of course, we saw this fitting and kitty corner fitting over there for the steam port vent line kit does not work because it points right up at the bottom of the intake, and I really don't want to fucking grind into my $2,000 intake. So I looked up online. There's some Earl's Performance ones that are on like swivels. It was like a friggin' $160 a fitting. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna chop this JSE and fitting off, and then I'm going to cut another Russell fitting, which I just picked up. I'll show you. I'll pull it out of the box here. So we're gonna cut that bit off there, and then I'm gonna cut this top of the 90 off, and it's gonna go on just like that. That way we can have that clearance. So we're gonna cut that off, gonna take it over to my buddy's house. We're gonna TIG weld those on, and then we'll be able to run our proper lines, because I don't think anything else is gonna work other than that, other than ordering $250 worth of fittings, maybe even close to $3, and also having to wait for them. So I think that's the easiest option. We'll just get a little bit of TIG action going on there, and that should solve our problem. So anybody using a LS fast intake with the steam port venting kit, 4-way steam port venting kit, you're gonna have problems unless you fab something up yourself. I mean, these fittings are still important because they're specialty fittings, but like I would have needed these regardless, or I could have done something with the stock ones, which I don't even know where they are. Plus the stock ones were capped off at the back, so you're probably gonna need these regardless. But if you're running the fast intake, you're gonna have to modify them, and I think this is the easiest route if you have access to a TIG welder. So cut the little tips off. So now it's going to be something like that, right? Should be very doable. We'll clean these up a bit. We'll buff these up so Buddy doesn't have to do any sort of cleanup on them. And we'll bring them over to him at the right angle with I'll probably just like vice grip these or something so that they're at the right angle, and he can just go bloop, 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 give it the glue, and we'll have some of our own custom fittings. I'll show you what the difference is going to be. So this is the stock size, like without modifying it. This is the fitting you have to get on there. And even a tight 90 with this distance and that, it sticks up way too far. Like your intake's hitting right here, which is not ideal. So you can compare that with this. Look how much lower that sits. And I'm even gonna grind this down a little bit more, but that's gonna sit, we're talking millimeters here. But that's the amount of millimeters that you need to make that work. So yeah, we'll do a little bit of cleanup here, and we'll get these over to the welder. All right guys, we got those fittings all cut up. Took them over to my buddies. We're gonna get them TIG welded up. What a great day. We got the engine in. Things are shaping up. I can't believe it went in first try. Oh wow, we'll call it first try. The first time we started moving it in, I forgot to put the header in. Or I forgot to bash the header. As much as I like bashing stuff, I forgot to. So we got it half in, had to pull it out, bash the header quick, and then it went in, and everything went seamlessly. Trans mounts in, engine mounts look good. Really awesome stuff from Pennsylvania Performance. Really stoked about how that all worked. Headers fit nice. The steering shaft seemed to have worked perfectly. As you can see, it's coming up through the headers there. Real tight fit, but it's nice. And anyways, really stoked to have the engine in. I think I'm gonna wait till we get these steam port fitting vent thingies. I'm gonna wait till I get those back to do that. But I'd really like to do that first before I start running any wires. I'd like that shit to sit at the bottom of all the wires and stuff. Plus the intake's gonna have to come back off to assemble it. So I really don't want to start running all the shit because I'm just gonna have to take it all off again. So we're gonna wait on that. Next episode we'll work on the shifter. I got a couple ideas, really stoked to show you guys. Really hope it helps. But yeah, so we got the transit, everything's in now, so we can start working on the shifter and most importantly, figure out something to do with the drive shaft. So anyways, that'll be next episode. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you later. Bye-bye for now.